Due to some personal reasons, I'm currently living in a family-style condominium with another young woman. Since it's a large apartment complex, we often run into our neighbors, some of them even saying,
"There have been rumors that two wealthy sisters had their rich dad buy them an apartment. I'm so sorry."
But that's not the case at all. There was a woman living on the floor below us around the same age as me, who I'd become friendly with. Whenever I bake or make sweets, I would always share some with her. I baked some cookies. Would you like to have tea with me and eat them?
Oh, how nice! I couldn't possibly say no to that.
From stories about world news to my own personal life, she knew almost everything about me. I really trusted her and opened myself up to her. Everything seemed great until suddenly one day the intercom rang. I went to answer and saw an older woman I had never seen before on the screen. Yes, who is it?
"I'm the mother-in-law, the woman living downstairs."
I opened the door, and supposedly this older lady is the mother-in-law of my downstairs neighbor. What's this about? Next to the mother-in-law was a man who I believed to be my neighbor's husband. I figured I could at least speak to them by the door and see what was going on. Hi, yes, how can I help you?
"Oh, there's no need to be so nervous. We're going to become family now after all. Relax, relax."
Huh? The supposed husband was just standing there grinning. I could tell I was about to get roped into something bad and felt an air of discomfort around me.
"You see, I thought we could do you a favor and take you in as my son's new wife."
What? For a moment, I really didn't understand. She just said something crazier than what I could have expected.
"His current wife is a sterile woman, so we're planning on kicking her out. So we've decided that once you two get married, you can live in this apartment together."
I'm sorry, I'm really not following.
"And then we're going to kick out that woman from the downstairs apartment. And we're going to make that room ours."
Excuse me? Is there anyone who can save my bulging eyes from this absurd situation? I truly don't understand anything that this woman is saying. So basically, they think the woman downstairs is no longer needed, and they want me to take her place? This is useless. The more I try to understand the situation, the more crazy it sounds.
"With the settlement money we get from his current wife, we're going to buy the apartment next door to this one. And then we'll have my second son live there. I mean, he supposedly has a girlfriend already. But apparently that girlfriend is quite poor. I'm going to get them to break up quickly and have him marry your younger sister. What do you think? Isn't that beautiful?" Huh.
The mother-in-law, casually saying such horrific things.
"So, you need to introduce me to your younger sister, and then everything will fall perfectly into place."
The mother-in-law was proudly continuing to make such statements, and then the husband, who was silently agreeing to everything she said, suddenly started to speak.
"I heard from my wife that those parents of yours who sometimes visit your apartment are in charge of some big company. I'll work there, and eventually I'll take after the company for you, so you should be grateful."
They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and this man was continuing on his mother's ridiculous rant.
"Also, I won't make my own father work, but I'll let you borrow his name so you can collect a salary and bonus to pay us. Well, I guess around 10 million yen per year should be enough."
I was at a complete loss for words. I was so shocked I felt like my eyes had already fallen out of my head. What are they even saying, these crazies? I couldn't help but laugh, which turned to hysterical laughter. They were disturbed, but I didn't care at all. The friendly neighbor was probably trying to change the details of my story out of kindness, since it's other people's business, but I've had enough. Me? I'm a married woman! That man that sometimes comes to visit the apartment isn't my father. He's my husband. He just lives in the city closer to his job. We aren't at all separated, nor living separately because we don't get along.
"Huh?
Huh?
By the way, the younger sister you're thinking of? That's our daughter.
What?"
What?
As for the reason she and I live here, my daughter has asthma, so we wanted to live in the suburbs where the air is cleaner. That's the only reason our family's living like this, but I never could have imagined that it would be mistaken like this. To be fair, normally you wouldn't bother poking your nose into your neighbor's business or try to intrude on someone else's personal life.
"Fine, then I guess we'll just take your daughter for you then."
My daughter is in 7th grade. Do you want to make your son a criminal? Yup. The girl that the neighbors all thought was my sister is in fact my middle school daughter. Like a lot of kids these days, she's grown up fast, and since her school doesn't have uniforms, maybe she looked like a college student to some. Upon hearing the truth, the mother-in-law and husband's face were turning red and blue. They're so easy to read, these two.
Well, don't you think your husband is far too old for you?"
Oh, please. You know my husband is 42? I have a baby face, so maybe from afar I look quite young, but if you look closely, I sure have wrinkles and I'm quite age-appropriate. And what about you? How old are you?
I'm 26.
You're 9 years younger than me and look like that? Not aging well, that's for sure. In that case, I am your elder, and in any case, I love my husband and my daughter, so please go home now. Now that I'd gotten the truth out, the two went home swiftly, but I had to tell my downstairs neighbor.
What? I'm so sorry!
She apologized profusely to me, but the fact that she didn't spill my family situation, not even to her own family, made me realize she was someone I could really trust. So in that moment, I told her one more thing about that I hadn't revealed before. Actually, since the whole situation felt fishy from the start, I was recording everything from the very beginning.
Huh?
If you want a divorce, I can introduce you to a lawyer, I said, to which she immediately replied,
Yes, of course, please!
After that, I heard from her that her husband was in fact already having an affair. What an absolute piece of crap husband.
I seriously can't believe this! I knew something was wrong, but there wasn't anything I could do about it on my own. Plus, my mother-in-law was terrifying. Because of all of that, my marriage was a mess and I was so unhappy.
But she couldn't quite catch him in the act and was trying to figure out how to get evidence against him. So she was extremely grateful to me.
Seriously, thank you so much! I can finally get the divorce I've been dreaming of! And I'll show him and swear I'll get remarried!
You got this. Good luck.
Thank you! I'll do my best!
I could see the flames burning in her eyes. Wouldn't my husband know a good lawyer, I thought, and asked him to introduce one to us. He ended up introducing a top-rated, top-skilled lawyer.
They tried to draw in my own wife and daughter into an insane situation. I don't think we need to show any mercy.
I fell for him all over again. And since the lawyer was a friend of his as well, they even lowered the fees by half. So with the evidence and lawyer on our side, we took the video to the mother-in-law and husband. It was bomb after bomb, a full big bang. Apparently it was too easy to kick them both to the curb. The funniest part about all of this is that their apartment was under his wife's name. After talking all that big game, the apartment wasn't even yours, it was your wife's. Even if it all had gone according to the mother-in-law's plan, that means they wouldn't have been able to live in that apartment anyways, since it wasn't even theirs. And now the neighbor is fully enjoying her single life.
Thank you so much! The single life is amazing!
I'm so glad, truly.
Yes, if you'd be interested. Would you like to have a party sometime, the three of us with your daughter? Now I can have you over whenever, regardless of the time.
I could tell just from looking at her that she's been spending her days in true happiness after the divorce. I mean, I can't even imagine how awful it must have been surrounded by that terrible husband and mother-in-law. Every time I see her and I see her beaming with smiles, I'm glad that I could have contributed even a small amount towards her happiness. The neighbor and I are still friends, and we made plans to go to lunch with my daughter next time too.
She said she'll let me borrow some of her manga next time.
Oh, how nice. The one you said you wanted before? My daughter also trusts her, and seeing them get along as well only adds to my happiness. From what it's worth, I heard that crap husband found a small apartment after the divorce and is living there with his family. Since being divorced and forced to pay a settlement fee, apparently they tried to scam their own family for the money and lost all of their trust. They're even having difficulty making rent now. But when I think back to what they had done, I can't feel sorry for them. Not one bit.
Thanks for watching! Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Bye!